Hey everybody, I have a heat stroke. Goosebumps fan here. Yep, I have a heat stroke. Goosebumps fan here. Today we're reviewing Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid. I'm making this on the couch because I'm editing, and the intro is already too long. So, yeah, hope you all have a great day. Thank you for 600 subs. I'm not making a special. Sorry. I can't think of everything because I'm very uncreative. Besides just jumping on the roof video and dumping a bucket of ice on my head, which I'm saving for 1,000. I'm jumping off the roof at 1,000. My house isn't that big, so don't worry. Thank you for 600 subs. Let's just get into this. So there actually isn't any blurbs on Series 2000 books, sadly. They're basically just scenes from the book. They don't tell you anything. So the basic blurb of the book, and I don't remember any names because this has been a few days now, but since I've read the book, we have this trio of kids. Two of them. Well, this kid steals a card game from his next door neighbor, Mr. Zarwood. He is an asshole apparently. He steals the card game out of frustration because he accused him of stealing when he wasn't in the first place. So yeah, the steal card game is called Be Afraid. Of course, they start playing the game, and you quickly realize this is just Jumanji. They place down cards with characters on them. That's what happens. Okay, guess what happens, huh? If you've seen Jumanji, you know exactly what happens. The characters from the cards basically start coming out in real life. There's knights. Of course, at some point in the book, there's a dragon, which is a fun segment. I'll give it that. And there's a lot of characters that come out. That's the only ones I can really think of on the top of my head for some reason. I don't know why I can't think of any more. That's the only two I fucking remember. Anyways, or soldiers, whatever they were. Knights or soldiers. Yeah, basically, whatever comes, whatever is on the card when you flip it over, that's what comes out into the real world. It doesn't zoom right out of the card. It just spawns in like a Minecraft character. Outside the house. But yeah, they start to catch on after a few plays of the game and realize, yeah, this is fucked up. So they try to return it to the neighbor and chaos ensues. That's basically the basic plot of the game. I'm sorry, the story. I could have made it like an R.L. Stine thing, but yeah, that's like a basic plot without really too much spoilers. But yeah, chaos ensues when they open and start playing this game. It's basically Jumanji. What did I think of it? What did I think of this book? Well, it may seem like I'm about to be very negative, but I actually really fucking liked it. This book, for a lot of people, I already can tell this is gonna be a fucking major mixed bag. A major one. Especially if you don't like these types of books with these particular endings, which we'll get to in a minute. But holy shit, it is very, very fun to read. When you figure out, when you get to the points where you think it's gonna be, oh great, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the thing that people made this controversial for. Some people might find it actually okay when you continue reading and you realize what's actually going on. Yeah, let's actually get into this book now. I'm actually very shocked that I really like this one, because I got super pissed when I found out what was going on, and then really realized what was going on. If you know, you know, okay? Sorry for this being a longer video, I'm just gonna point that out, because we're taking 3 minutes on each of these fucking segments, because there's a lot to say about this fucking book. The upsides. All the characters, there's a lot of characters. I mean, a lot. All the characters in the book are fairly enjoyable. Especially Mr. Zarwood, he's very fun. He's a cool character. And some of the scenes with, of course, the creatures from the card game coming out into real world or going into the game are fun or interesting enough to keep you hooked on the story. To see what else this world has, because, you know, these things could have appeared in the movie. I'm surprised the fucking dragon, which I think the community might have named Sparkles or something, because I read that on the wiki, that's how I know a lot more about the book, is I was looking for villains on the wiki, and then, like, what the fuck is Sparkles? And I'm not looking for spoilers on the wiki, since I have not read any book, so I have no idea. I can't remember, fuck. I was just looking through, I'm like, who the fuck is Sparkles? And I clicked on it, it's like, Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid. I'm like, I already know a dragon appears. Yeah, apparently the name of this thing might be Sparkles, according to the fan's name. Which is funny, I'll give it that. Yeah, those scenes with the monsters and shit, very fun. I really enjoyed it. Another thing I really enjoyed with this book, besides the characters and the monsters, was the fact that it's a Jumanji ripoff. It's very fun, because Jumanji is already an okay movie. I think it's fine. I've watched it a fair few times, both the new one and the old one. I prefer the old one. I'm like that. This book, it's definitely a nice take on Jumanji, and it's different enough, since it's actually a card game, not a board game or a video game like the weird new ones are. The remakes, what you call them. I like the fact that it's a card game. It's based off kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't know about much, in case you're all gonna start spamming me about Dungeons and Dragons, because I don't know fuck about it, besides it's heavily used on Stranger Things, and there's Demogorgons and shit, because that, I don't know. And there's also a movie. But yeah, this is basically inspired by some card games like Dungeons and Dragons, probably some other ones that I'm not thinking of, but, I mean, it's kind of implied, probably. I don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons, I just know there's shit. And it's basically, what the game they're playing is basically like Dungeons and Dragons, where you make a story and shit. Anyways, that was very fun. This might be a shocker for this being an upside. The twist. The twist of the book takes 10 chapters. Yeah, 5, guys. 10 chapters before you actually realize what's going on. Because this is like, not gonna spoil what happens in another book, and this has nothing to do with it in any way. Legend of the Lost Legend, there it is. I recently reread it. That twist, you start to realize that about 15 chapters into the book, what's actually going on. This one you can't quite figure out immediately, but it's kind of like that scenario where the twist is slowly being revealed. Sorta. Like the big twist of the book. So, the big twist here, obviously you all have read it, probably. You just don't care. The big twist of this book is the fact that basically everything that's going on isn't real. But it's in a good way. It kind of is. Basically, let's say, I'm trying to describe it to you guys. Whatever, the first 20 of these chapters in the book, as soon as you reach, like, chapter 20 or 21, 22 maybe, the kid's just reading the entire book, apparently. The kid's just been reading the whole time. This has all just been a book in a book. Then the kid finds a card game, gets sucked in, meets characters from the book. And then that area of the book ends, and not too long later, about 9 chapters later, and then we get to the twist. Which is where another kid is reading the book, and he goes to return the book to Mr. Zarwood. And, of course, Mr. Zarwood gives him a card game instead, because he wanted a refund since he was at the yard sale, apparently. But no. This isn't Mr. Zarwood. Let me just go find a name real quick, because I can't quite recall. It's different. Or is it a different character? Wardes. Mr. Wardes. So basically, Mr. Zarwood is not the only Mr. Zarwood. I'm not sure what the twist implies, because that's the fun part. You don't know if it is Mr. Zarwood or not. It probably is, but either way, that's a big reveal, but Mr. Zarwood is already behind this shit, which we kind of knew around the halfway mark of the book. Chapter 15 around. Yeah, it's a really fun twist, that everything is a book in a book in a book, or a game in a game in a game. And everything that happened is still real, just, there's a book about it, and it's basically, like, it's hard to describe. And I fucking loved it for that, because a lot of people, that's the part where they're gonna get really mad at. The last 10 chapters, the third act of the book. A lot of people are gonna get pissed off at that. I really loved it. It was very fun to read. Especially when you get to realize what the fuck's actually happening. You start to, in my opinion, this is how I felt. I started to realize, oh, this is, okay. I didn't quite catch on. I didn't quite catch on immediately. It's very fun, though, when you actually find out what's going on. I really liked it. That was one of the things that I really don't know if anybody else. Please let me know in the comments below if you also like that or not. I need to know, because this really fucked me for a minute. When I found out, of course, when I finished the book. Then I finally realized, yeah, it was fun. But yeah, it took me about a week to finally sort that all out to what I like. Now let's get to the downsides. I know, this is literally a 6-minute segment. Anyways, yeah, let's get to the downsides. There's only one downside. There's a goblin or something that appears like 5 chapters into the book. saying that he was freed, never does anything for the story. It has nothing to do with the story. It makes literally no sense. It's like it never happened, and the kids completely forget that there's a literal fucking goblin that just showed up, from the game, and of course he was in their fucking house, and he just runs out. That's really fucking stupid. Stine, that is a major problem. You can't just fucking throw a major thing that just happened in the book, where they actually fucking see one of the things in the game, because everything in the game that pops out, they don't see it because it's all going on outside. They hear it. A house is destroyed when they go outside. It's raining, it's thundering because they pulled out a thunder card. But this way, they can fucking see it. There's no coincidence that one of the little creatures from the game would just not look anything remotely like a normal person. It's a midget with weird shit. Oh my god, it's bullshit, Stine. How could you forget? How? I get it, this is a book in a book in a book, but goddamn. Goddamn. How could you forget? How? Anyways, that is, sorry for the little rant. That really pissed me off when I finished the book. Like, where the fuck did he play a role? He just shows up like, I'm free, and then they just completely forget it even happened. Like, okay, so, nothing, this is all coincidence, guys. There's no way. When there was a little fucking goblin from the game. Anyway, sorry about that rant. Let's get into the rating. And the rating, 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, no, not a 10 out of 10. I can't be perfect. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. For a Series 2000 book, you did expect a high rating, and this is no different. But for one of these types of books with a real fuck you ending, what a lot of people consider a fuck you ending, saying, oh yeah, the book is a dream. I'm not going to give any examples, but there's a slap-year-old book, I'm not going to say which one, which kind of does that. You know. Yeah, it's not like that. It's not where it's all, oh, yeah, that's all a dream. Nope. This is not a dream book. This is not a, oh yeah, it's just a book in a book. Kind of was, but it all apparently really happened. And I really like that, so I'm just going to give it a 9 out of 10. Especially with the cool dragon scene, which only lasts like 3 or 4 chapters. It's okay. 2, maybe. It's a fine scene. And we do see more dragons in the book than just that one scene. And also, I thought I'd just mention this. The second paragraph here, guys. The second paragraph right here. This is not a line in the book. It's not even anywhere in the book. They just made it up for the back of the book. I'm not kidding. That's not in the book. It's not in the book. The first paragraph, yeah, it appeared. The second one, no. Anyways, yeah, that's my rating for this book. Sorry this review was so long. Longer than it should have been. Just really mixed on the book for the most part. Because, I mean, I always said it was mixed, but there was so much stuff I fucking liked about the book that there was nothing really negative to say. But I mixed because, oh my god, it's so stupid. But it's so fun. I do hate this book in some areas, though. None of them I include in my downside, because I still want to give it a solid 9 out of 10 on my downside segment. And the stuff that I hate about the book was all resolved, because I was never more mixed. Because, I got really angry around the, 20th chapter mark. That's like around when it happens. The bullshit. Yeah, it made me really angry for about 7 chapters until I realized, oh, wait a minute. Anyways, this book is really solid. I highly recommend it to anybody who likes these fucking endings. 9 out of 10. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now I'm just gonna make this a quick outro. Sorry for not uploading as much. I don't know how long this heat stroke is gonna last or whatever the hell I'm going on with me. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.